Well, howdy there, cowboys and cowgirls. I'm Shern-Min Chow, and we are here at Rodeo Houston, a 3-week extravaganza of Western culture, livestock, agriculture, fun, festivities, food, concerts, and of course, scholarships. Some 2.5 million people will visit NRG for the fun and festivities, the always popular carnival, complete with a sky ride, Ferris wheels, and of course, the namesake rodeo and headliner concerts. This is a tradition and event which began back in 1931.
Monument to agricultural progress in Texas and the Southwest is the Houston Fat Stock Show and Livestock Exposition, now in its 22nd year. Things generally happen for a reason. Livestock shows are no exception. This show was established in 1932 with several purposes set forth: to stimulate farmers and 4-H and FFA boys and girls to produce better livestock through better breeding and feeding, to develop better agricultural practices, and finally, to build Houston as a livestock market. In all of these things, in little more than a generation, it has succeeded admirably. For each year sees more and better animals coming to the show from an increasingly wider area. Each passing show records better attendance, closer contests, better quality in all of the breeds of livestock on exhibit. All of these, unmistakable evidence of greater importance, heightened prestige.
Now fast forward to 1952, when 4 men decided to ride from Brenham to Houston to promote the livestock show and rodeo. These days, that means nearly a dozen trail rides from across South Texas make the week-long journey. Horses and wagons, following roadways and freeways, mixing and mingling with cars and 18-wheelers. It's usually a family affair. Meet the Murphys, who ride the Valley Lodge Trail Ride.
First of all, welcome to Houston. I've been doing this for 28 years. My mom actually went into labor here on the ride 28 years ago, and I have been doing this ever since with my dad. He's a good boy. What is it?
This is my 33rd year on the Valley Lodge Trail Ride. I'm 41. I started when I was 8 years old, so 33 years. Well, I grew up on the ride. My sister and I did, and now my wife and children are on the ride.
He's a good boy.
So you'll see horses. You'll see wagons, mule-pulled wagons, or wagons pulled by big draft horses. You'll see a Western way of life that you just don't see.
This is our wagon, half of our crew at least. This is one of the original Saltgrass Trail Ride wagons.
We rode 75 miles.
You get kind of saddle sore if you don't ride that often.
And I love riding my horse because it's so fun. I can just make my horse jog.
It's just a snapback of the Western heritage. And so we just like to keep the Western heritage going and keep everything going the way it was in the 1800s, 1700s.
This group is already looking ahead to dinner. They've been cooking this whole hog all night long, and it smells amazing. While dinner cooks, the rest of the group is parading around Prairie View A&M University today. Then they'll break camp to head towards Houston tomorrow. This is one of 11 trail rides traveling across Texas to recreate the Old West ahead of rodeo. A little history lesson for you. The Prairie View Trail Ride is known as the mother of black trail rides, since all other black trail rides in the country can be traced back to it.
I've been out here probably about 15 years. It's a lot of fun,
This year, it's a big group. 300 riders are participating in 9 different wagons, and it's such a cool tradition to see. The Prairie View Trail Ride will travel 80 miles this week, ending at Memorial Park on Friday.
That's when all 2,000 some riders make camp at Memorial Park. Awards are given out to the best trail rides, judged on everything from attire to attitude. The next morning, on a Saturday, is the Rodeo Houston Parade. Katira Winfrey had a front row seat.
The rodeo parade is a tradition started in 1938, and in that 85 years, you can find a lot of boot scoot and boogieing. Thousands filled the streets of downtown Houston to take in a sample of the Wild West and festivities of the day. For quite a few people, the big guys are the main attraction.
Horses. I like horses.
You can find plenty of them and so much more.
All the music and the horses and the fiesta.
For more than an hour, horses, floats, marching bands, and covered wagons, this one carrying a few familiar faces, wound their way through the parade route. It's a tradition that gets better each year.
So many rodeo fans are Texans through and through, and people are coming not only from all over the state, but around the country, and even places like Canada.
We're from Montreal, Quebec.
Helena Duncan's friend Susan Smith roped her into making the trek to the Lone Star State. Smith lives in downtown and doesn't miss a parade.
Houston is a great city, and it's a great town to have a parade. The fans are great. It's wonderful. The citizens are great.
Duncan is finding that out for herself as she takes a break from shoveling snow back up north.
It's very special. People do not understand across North America how special Houston is. Yeah.
It's safe to say folks here know it's special indeed.
Another big warm-up event, Rodeo Uncorked, the Roundup and Best Bites competition. It's a foodie's dreamland. Our own Cheetah Craft among the judges in this world-class gourmet event with hundreds of wines and signature dishes. Right, Troy Kless?
As thousands get to wine and dine, it's an exciting time for the businesses, the judges, and the people.
Tell me what you think. If you like the wine, you gotta ring the bell.
It's the place to be for thousands of Houstonians.
I mean, the vibe, it's electric in this room. There's a lot of, people excited about kicking off rodeo season.
Something for everyone to enjoy.
I think it's the different varieties of food. It's the culture. It's Mexican food. You have Cajun food. It's just everything.
While these women have their favorites, others have the toughest job in the room, being a judge.
It seems like it's very app heavy this year. It's probably like my 10th plus year judging.
Felice Sloan sharing what she loves about her selection of food and wine.
So this year it seems like it's even bigger, better. It seems like it's more diverse. People, and I love the diversity. And even with the food, it's more diverse.
From brisket to oysters and everything in between, paired with wines from around the world that this champion import company gets to serve.
We get to show those stories from around the world, and wine kind of connects the earth and connects us all to what agriculture can do, and that's what the rodeo stands for as well.
All right, so I'm gonna hear some bell ringing over here.
Those stories and interaction with the 6,000 people expected to attend are what keep people coming back.
Oh, this is quintessential Houston, rodeo, food, barbecue, and people get to really showcase our restaurants here.
Rodeo season is a part of, who we are, and we enjoy sharing it with people from outside of Houston.
Talking about food, there is, of course, the World Championship Barbecue Cook-Off. Ooh, take a look at those turkey legs. Just those words will make your mouth water.
It's barbecue time. We're talking
Prime rib roast. We're doing a brisket smoked queso.
But you also have
lamb, racks of lamb that we smoked.
The best of the best are here for the World Championship Barbecue Contest. This is where more than 250 teams compete as part of the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. Many of the contestants here are known for the barbecue they make year-round. One pit master we found made the Texas Monthly Top 50.
Love good competition, but we also love being out here feeding a bunch of people some great barbecue.
For the contest, these pit masters will be graded on the smell, texture, appearance, and flavor. So far, the brisket I tried. Can I bring a Tupperware and take some home?
Absolutely.
And some of these cooks, they're also known for those side dishes.
One thing that everybody knows us for is our mashed potatoes.
But some also do it for a good cause, like this tent that give back to veterans.
And they all serve the veteran and the veteran's family. And it's important to me that we remember it's not just the soldier that goes away, it's the family goes with them.
With all the delicious food, you can't forget about the talented musicians. For many, playing here is a dream come true.
Full circle, being able to play the biggest rodeo in the country, it means so much.
Now, Houston grows daily, and a lot of folks will be coming to their first rodeo, like our own Victor Jacoba, who is actually from Milwaukee. So we wanted to make sure that he was outfitted properly. We sent him with an old rodeo hand to make sure everything looked just right. Like making sure you get your hat shaped properly.
My first stop to get ready for the Houston Rodeo is Boot Barn.
Cheetah, this is my first rodeo. How do I even begin to get ready for this event?
Okay, the rodeo is amazing. I mean, for the food, the music, the agriculture, but you gotta look the part. So Victor, I'm gonna get you rodeo ready from head to toe.
All right, Cheetah, one of the main pieces to Western wear to get ready for rodeo are boots.
Oh, yes.
Here we are in this main section here. We got it ready.
You gotta have some good boots. Okay, Cindy, we need something legit. What are we working with right here?
Okay, so we have ostrich boots in some of the ostrich leg. We have elephant. We have snake skin here. And we have Peruku, which is world's largest sea bass in the Amazons.
While Boot Barn store manager Cindy Garcia helps pick out an outfit for me, I asked Cheetah for her experience and advice when it comes to rodeo.
2011 was my very first rodeo. That's when I moved to Houston, and I jumped right in. I started participating in all the rodeo events. I think my piece of advice with the rodeo, you get right in there. Try it all out. Try to go to as many events, try all the food, go to the concerts, just dive right in.
Cheetah is also guiding me on proper rodeo footwear and clothing.
The boots that I have on, I actually, my husband gave me 10 years ago. And I will say every year they get more and more comfortable. So you really do have to break them in sometimes. I think fashion at the rodeo can be really, really fun. It can also be a tradition, maybe what you've worn in the past, but maybe it's a little razzle dazzle, something more. So more is more.
This time of year is the busiest time of year for us here at Boot Barn. It's busier than Christmas.
Now Cindy was ready to show me what she picked out from Boot Barn's selection.
It's a boot cut relax fit by Cody James. These are very popular sellers for us. We have here a Cody James shirt with the nice suede vest to go over it. We have Cody James belt here. And then everyone's favorite is a hat.
And next came time for me to try it all on.
Whoa!
Here we go. From head to toe, ready for rodeo.
Looking sharp, Victor. And on a Tuesday, Rodeo Houston officially opens. Some 2.5 million people will visit during the 20-day event. Jalissa Garza has an overview.
Food, music, animals, carnival rides. Those are just some of the things the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo is known for, and it takes all year to prepare.
35,000 volunteers that also plan and work around the clock to make this a reality for the community.
Monday, crews finished getting everything up and going for the gates to open.
Barbecue was over the weekend, so all of that had to come down and everything else had to go back up. So it's a big turnaround.
Tuesday is when the concert series kicks off with a lineup of stars set to take the stage, and people are looking for deals. Danielle Grossman with the Rodeo urges people to be careful.
We want you to use verified resale ticket access, which you can get to on RodeoHouston.com or our app. That's the Rodeo Houston app. You can access tickets there very easily, and you know that they are secure and you won't be losing your money in any way.
When it comes to parking, Grossman recommends using their new app for that too.
We have real-time parking lot information, so you can check and see how full the lot is before you even get there, and then you can choose where you want to park, because our 610 lot this year we expanded by thousands of spots.
Looking forward to being open.
And if you're parking outside of NRG lots, be careful.
Just make sure that you are protecting yourself, doing your research, and planning ahead is key for the rodeo.
Now by day, there are all kinds of exhibits, games, contests, food, and vendors. There is no question that the rodeo means big business, as Stephanie Whitfield shows us.
From cook-off through closing day, millions of people will visit the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. Those 3 weeks always mean big business for everyone involved.
It typically takes 5 days to do a chocolate production.
Mostly Chocolate, a local company, competes in the Best Bites competition. Last year, they won first place in the dessert category. We stopped by as they were preparing this year's entry.
I love it because we get belt buckles, and in Texas they say you have to earn your belt buckle, so I love that we've been able to do that.
At Houston Rodeo, there's no shortage of sweet and savory options. The owner of Alamo Tamales says they sell more than 200,000 tamales every year at their stands inside NRG Center. A total of 300 retail and food vendors participate in the rodeo. So whether it's for the business boost or bragging rights,
I just like being there. It's so fun, and everyone that's just there to have a good time, are just really fun to talk to and be around.
The 3-week event is always a big deal for local businesses.
And then there is the Livestock Show, 30,000 entries. kids spending all year raising these animals and then showing off their finest, everything from cattle and goats to pigs and poultry. Turns out our own Jalissa was an FFA kid herself.
I have to tell you, Ag Venture has always been my favorite part about the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. Maybe because I was an FFA, so the livestock just holds a little special place in my heart. And we know that's a big part of the Houston Rodeo, FFA, 4-H, all the kids who've raised animals. But it's also a great place to learn about all of the livestock. Julie's joining me now. Tell me a little bit about Ag Venture. There's so much to do here.
So we hope that this is an immersive experience in agriculture. So students can come and they can plant a seed and take it home with them. They can watch chicks hatch, they can see something being born in the birthing center, and they can also learn about different breeds of animals here. So we just hope it's a place where we might be able to pique a student's interest to maybe become the steward of livestock or land one day. But also here in Ag Venture, you can also find Howdy.
He's also a big part of it, but as you can see, the livestock is here behind us. I mean, there's a lot to enjoy. Is there certain times for people to know about Ag Venture being open?
Ag Venture is open from 9 to 9 daily. I would recommend that you go to the website or download the app to find times and plan your day. But morning times tend to be a little lighter until our school tours and field trips arrive.
The thousands of people at the rodeo get to watch these farming families in action, and that's part of what makes the Houston Rodeo stand out. Under the lights of the NRG Center is the goat called Paris Lights.
She's normally pretty skittish of humans because she's young. She just took it off mom like today.
12-year-old Jordan Greenberg preparing for her first rodeo.
Washing, clipping, trimming their feet, trimming their horns, all kinds of stuff.
She gets to learn from the people around her too. Some people who spent years breeding and showing livestock here in Houston.
Basically, we're just keeping them fed, trying to get them full and clean, and it's nerve-wracking.
At showtime, Laura Babilski is focused on feeding, brushing, and making sure their bulls are ready.
We get up every day and we go to the show barn, we feed, we wash calves, we break calves, and it's just a livelihood that I love. I enjoyed growing up doing it, and I hope my kids do it one day, and I wouldn't have life any other way.
This is one of hundreds of livestock shows held over the 2-week-long rodeo. Livestock Committee Chairwoman Lori Diaz says hundreds of volunteers help more than 30,000 entries compete in different classes.
But this is a way of life. For Texas youth, this is not only about the perseverance and the dedication they do day in and day out. It educates them on how to succeed in their future with their education, with their careers later.
Girls like Babilski made this into a career, and she's likely encouraging others too.
I've always wanted to be a veterinarian. It's awesome, it's really fun, and it's just great walking in the show ring and just being with your animal.
And the thousands of families in attendance have spent months preparing to take home the title of Houston champion.
Robert R. Hodge.
Rodeo Houston also has special days to salute armed forces and first responders with free entries, and special days to celebrate different cultures.
Meet Mariachi Imperial de America. Behind the charro suits, instruments, and captivating vocals is a tradition that's been in Jose Longoria's family for decades.
Mariachi Imperial has been in existence for a little bit over like 30 years. So something that my father, Adrian Longoria, gave us.
That has continued through his sons, who are 4th-generation members.
Probably around middle school, that's when I learned the rest of the instruments from my dad.
The group has been competing in the Houston Livestock and Rodeo Show's mariachi contest dating back to the late 90s, taking home a 1st place and 2 second-place finishes over the years. But leaving with a trophy isn't everything for this family.
That's the most important thing, that the tradition of mariachi continues to grow and it doesn't disappear. Very grateful to carry that tradition, you know, for me and my brothers to continue what my grandparents, my ancestors have passed.
The opportunity to showcase their rich Hispanic heritage.
We're definitely showing the mariachi culture to everybody because, you know, if anything, mariachi is starting to gradually grow here in the Houston community
by putting on a good show.
The people love it, and we're just sharing the culture that we love.
One of the great fun parts of Black Heritage Day is at the junction where they have all kinds of fun dancing going on. Earlier they were showing some different styles, including swing. This is John and Lawanza with Step in Style. So tell me why this is a part of Black Heritage Day.
Well, swing out and swing dancing in general has been a part of our community for many years, a part of our culture. We have several different forms of swing, but it's just something that's been a part of the Black culture for many years, and we actually created swing dancing.
All righty. Okay, and turn around real quick. So you're always recruiting for new folks to join, and I'm going to be a new student, all right?
And we're going to do a little demonstration.
It's a tall order, John. Let's give it a try.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to come up over, put them on the board, try it out. Learn a little Houston two-step. This dance originated in Houston around about the 1930s. So this is a part of our culture, so everybody...
All right, okay, John. All right, why don't we take a look at the pros teaching some talented students.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, let's walk. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, let's walk. All right, so now we have what is called a transition. And 1, 2, 3, 4.
There are plenty of chances for city slickers to try their hand at farm and ranch chores. Our Stephanie Simmons gave the celebrity goat milking contest a shot. This is harder than it looks. Hope nobody was thirsty out there. And in the evening?
Tonight, the world's largest calf scramble. Here's the next two individuals you're going to meet. First, it's our calf scramble gate opener, and opening the gate for us from KHOU, it is Jennifer Reyna.
Entertainment starts with fan favorites like the calf scramble. There are twice as many teens as calves, and each student who catches a calf gets $1,700 towards buying an animal to show in next year's rodeo.
And there he goes. Wells taking it all the way across as well.
And for the littlest cowpokes, mutton busting. The kids are outfitted in helmets and safety vests, holding on for dear life. But this event is not just limited to the big stage. Mutton busting contest, a fan favorite at the rodeo, and this is the event for any kid, including Mason and his little brother Kay. Take a look at them go. This is where any parent can bring their child, and for $15 you can register for the mutton busting contest every hour on the hour from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. each day. You just gotta be 5 or 6 years old and under 55 pounds, man. And Mason and Kay, they are loving this.
You have to hold on.
For dear life?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you do better than your brother?
Yes.
Show me what happened. You got... What happened there?
Crash.
Yeah, a little road burn there, a little mutton rash. Does it hurt?
Yes. It's hard because when you dig in to the wall, it's hard on the inside.
All right, you're probably used to seeing the kids in the big show at the formal rodeo in the stadium. That one, you have to register for by November of the previous year. Those kids drawn by lottery. But that's what's great about this event right here. Anybody can come on up and give it a try. The kids love the mutton busting, and so do the big kids.
Yeah! Watch his feet, watch his feet!
After that, tournament-style competition with bull riding, steer wrestling, roping, barrel racing, and more. The winners get bragging rights, cash prizes, and of course a custom saddle and belt buckle. In 2024, the total rodeo prize money, nearly $2.2 million. Matt Doherty introduces us to a father-daughter team who have their eye on the prize.
That was beautiful!
Kendall Pearson had him last night. He was faster, and he did not duck or dive that time. He was a good calf.
The 20-year-old Haley Williams just learned which calf she'll have to rope during her breakaway event tonight.
Yeah. They're all kind of, difficult, so it just depends on what kind of difficulty you get that day. So this is Red Light. He's the one I wanted on last year. The level of difficulty this arena is, it's really hard on a horse, so we want to make sure he's feeling the very best he can.
Haley gives Red Light his vitamins about 2 hours before she takes him out for his ride. She shows us inside her trailer.
Extra tie downs, medicine. My dad's with us right now, so we've got the suitcase because he has to have an enormous suitcase for 3 days.
I'm an 8-time world champion header, consecutive that is. We won 8 titles in a row. And now my daughter's 20, competing at her second Houston Rodeo.
Speed Williams is Haley's dad. He's also her coach.
And she was my little cowgirl from the time she was little. My goal was to be able to raise my kids and teach my kids something I knew something about.
Now a professional breakaway instructor himself, where the Williamses live up in Comanche, Texas, he says he let his daughter decide on whether she wanted to throw a rope.
Everybody help her, help her.
She did. And she was good. Real good.
There's a lot of money to be made as beginners and as you move up.
Haley's won more than $200,000 in the last 2 years. Tonight, her goal is to rope her calf in less than 4 seconds.
A 3-8 will dang sure give me a little money and make sure I advance to the semifinals.
It's just past 8 o'clock. Haley and Red Light are ready at the gate.
After that, some of the biggest names in music take the big stage, from country to Tejano to rap. Ugochi Iloka introduces us to that Mexican OT and has a little behind-the-scenes excerpt from her full interview.
Louis Vuitton umbrella when I walk through the rain in the kitchen whipping chicken kind of bread like kinds good dog got a Mexican liquor like Johnny Dine.
He's the Texas rapper with the unusual name.
Hey yo, is that Mexican OT?
You might hear that Mexican OT perform his hit song Johnny Dang during Bun B's All-American Takeover at the rodeo.
I love Bun. He's a part of my childhood, you know, like he's on so many bangers that we jammed today. And the things that he's done, I mean, look at it. He's a part of this act on the rodeo, like he's the head honcho on it.
And while this may be that Mexican OT's first actual rodeo, he says he's been ready for this moment since he was a kid.
I just figured it out at a young age. I was already performing when I was standing on my mother's bed, rapping to whatever music video was being played on 106 in Park. I was already performing when I was in the 3rd grade and 4th grade, and I'm rapping and I got all the kids around me.
His journey started in Bay City, Texas, about an hour and a half away from Houston.
In my mind, I'm still Virgil, that little boy from the country.
He now goes by that Mexican OT, which stands for Out of Texas. He's taken his act out of Texas by launching a 20-city tour last October. The rapper gives credit to God, his family, hunger to learn, and his fans for getting him to this point of his rap career.
It's more than you just being a fan. You are saving someone's life and you don't even know it because it's pure enjoyment to you. I want to keep rap alive. There's a lot of things I want to keep alive, but my job is to do rap.
And he's doing pretty well. The Texas rapper has quickly become an artist to look out for. His hit single, Johnny Dang, debuted in the Billboard Top 100s, and he's gotten over 100 million streams on Spotify.
Lone Star, Texas, I'm player made. They gon' ask where I'm from Better Bay.
As for the keys to his success, he says it has a lot to do with where he comes from.
Just that country living out there, not having nothing, you know, and making something out of nothing.
Listening to some of your other songs, there's a lot of country and Tejano influences, I feel like, in the background, vocals, instruments, all of these inspirations, so Texas. Can you tell us about how all of that, your Texas roots, really inspire your music?
It was just already so cool to me, you know, so I just fell in line with it. Like everything that I was jamming it on, I just, boom, jumped in line. So I think that's why it sounds so much like it, because like you said, it was already a huge inspiration. So it was just cool that I was able to just fall in line like one of them. You know, because if you sit there and act like you're supposed to be here, it's gonna look like you're supposed to be here. You know, and then once you're putting that act into what you're doing, you know, it's what you are, because what you act is what you are, and eventually, you know, you just get better and better, you know. So ain't no way you can keep doing it and go down. You only go up from here, you know. So yeah.
Do you think just where you come from and how you were raised has a unique, I guess, influence to your sound? Because your sound is so different. I mean, from the way you flow to the kind of music, the kind of rap it is. It's very distinct. What do you think drives that?
I don't know. I think I'm just me. I don't think nothing drive it. I think I'm just me, you know? I think all those things drove me to be who I am. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Anything about like your childhood and the way you were brought up, just being from the Bay, though?
Yes, ma'am.
Top 3 things that you can think of that maybe inspired some of your flow, like the things you rap about.
Just that country living out there, not having nothing, you know, and making something out of nothing, being able to just go outside and be creative and make happiness there and make pleasure there through creativity, you know, because, you know, we're outside throwing a rock in the air and catching it, you know. So things like that. Even just down to our southern twang and how we pronounce things, our southern hospitality, you know what I'm saying? And anything like that. You know, I wake up and I smell cow poop and fresh cut grass, and I'm like, home, you know? So I think it's things like that, you know?
I love it. That's so Texas for real.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And do you think you're kind of educating people about Texas a bit when you go to different places? I mean, you just did the interview with Sway, and
Yes,
they
ma'am.
learned some things from you, I saw.
Yeah, yes, ma'am, definitely. And it's cool because, you know, my goal has always been to make Texas cool again. You know, like I felt like for the longest, Texas was everybody's favorite rapper. Texas was everybody's favorite everything. You know, Lil Wayne is considered the greatest of all time, and he was reciting Big Mo bars. You know, Drake came down he's a Jew kid from Canada, came to Houston talking about falling in love with everything that's Texas. You know, we can't really say it, but you know what's Texas. And he was talking about it, he was loving it. He made the song November 18th because of Zero, you know, so like, and I just feel like from our cars that we drive to the stilo that we have to the things that we're into all the way to our lingo, Texas is just really it, you know, and I feel like I was here to let them know that it's it. And we've had amazing artists come out of Texas, do their thing. You know, we've had the TSF, we've had the Hood Fame, we've had Mo3, we had plenty of beautiful artists from here, Maxo, all of them. Even to Slim, to parts of the OGs, you know what I'm saying?
Bun B.
To Bun, you know, to all of them. Like, we've had amazing artists, but I feel like God put me here to make it mainstream.
And for the next generation.
Yes, ma'am.
You know?
I'm here. I want to keep rap alive, you know. There's a lot of things I want to keep alive, but my job is to do rap. You know, I'm just going to put my faith in God and hope that the rest take care of what they need to take care of.
Now, when you started rapping when you were so young, because your grandma talks about this a lot, your dad has, I'm trying to figure out how you came out just spitting and being so talented since you were just yay high. How did that happen? I mean,
everybody's just different. I definitely wasn't born with it. You know, I think
you were born with the talent, though. The gift.
No.
No.
Nobody
Developed it
is.
later.
Yeah, nobody is. Nobody's born with anything. Nobody's born with fear. Nobody's born with hatred. Nobody's born with talent. These are all things that you learn. You know, I was just surrounded by it so much that I had no choice but to learn it. My uncle was doing it, my cousin was doing it, my mother was listening to it, my father was listening to it. Then I had family members that was jamming everything else. It chose me, I didn't choose it, and that's why I'm here, you know? I don't even know how I'm here talking to you right now, in all honesty, because I come from a lot of bad things, you see what I'm saying? I used to do a lot of bad things, and like, that's why all I wanted to do was love and be peaceful, you know, because like, man, this is a blessing. I would never want to disrespect it. I don't know how I'm here, but you know what? I'm grateful that I'm here, and I cherish it, and I think that's why I'm here, because I treat it good, I respect it, and yeah, you know, yeah.
So humble, but I will tell you, I know that you mentioned no one is born with it, it's learned, but there is something special about you, OT. I'm telling you. Can you give yourself flowers in terms of that star power? You have it.
Man, you know, like I understand I'm great.
Yes.
I understand I'm brilliant, but I'm brilliant besides rap. You know, the mind has to do this rapping. You know, and as much as I used to doubt my mind when I was younger, now that I really sit there and listen to my music, man, I'm brilliant. It takes a brain to put together what I put together, especially in one step. Like when I'm writing the lyrics, the video is already being made, you know? And I'm just grateful that I have a background that makes my talent 10 times better.
Very, very brilliant. So let's move on to the Houston Rodeo.
Yeah.
You're performing, that's coming up. So for people who've never seen you on the stage or hear your music, we're talking about a big audience of people that you could reach to introduce your music and what you do to. How have you been preparing?
I don't really prepare for it. I just get up and go. I just get up and do it, you know? Not saying that practice isn't good, practice makes better. But I was just blessed with this, man. I just figured it out at a young age. I was already performing when I was standing on my mother's bed, rapping to whatever music video was being played on 106 in Park. I was already performing when I was in the 3rd grade and 4th grade, and I'm rapping and I got all the kids around me. I was already performing, you know, like I was already developing these things, you know, and these talents and figuring it out. And everybody that I watched, they was already amazing MCs. That's another thing. I'm grateful that I had the ear and the eye that I had, because that's another thing. I respected it. When I say I respected the music game, I paid attention and I watched. And I watched who I needed to watch. I watched the lyricists. I watched the people that would put music together, because I wasn't trying to make songs. I was trying to rap. There's a difference between rapping and making songs. Now, of course, I'm making songs, but then I was rapping. So I think that's what developed it all.
Telling a story.
Yeah, just putting it together, even manipulating words like city cops and idiots, and you know, there's so many things you could do, you know? Yeah. 80 feet. 80 feet, as in you got 80 feet, and then 80 feet I lost, 80 feet. I learned it. I wasn't born with it. Nobody is born with nothing, homegirl. You weren't born with nothing. You figure it out and you learn it. That's why we have a brain.
Oh, the music, the food, all of the fun, it's terrific. But of course, the #1 mission behind all of this are the kids.
Rodeo is upon us, and we get excited for all the fun events that are to come, but we need to remember the reason for the season.
I was actually in a state of shock. I was very just joyful and beyond grateful for this experience, and to be able to have financial security for pursuing my college education.
That's Kalia Peach. She was awarded a rodeo scholarship last May. She is the first in her household to graduate from high school and get into college. She says growing up in a low-income area with a lot of violence pushed her to see education as her way out.
I really just want to tell my story and be the voice of my community to show people from my area and also from my school, Yes Prep, that you can accomplish anything and you can actually put in the work and the dedication that will pay off.
20 years ago, Shay Delgado's life was impacted by a scholarship win, $20,000 for a 4-year institution.
But I remember being very overjoyed because I knew that this was going to allow me to go to college, because otherwise, more than likely, I would not have been able to afford to go to college.
Her resume years later is impressive. She has her bachelor's degree in history, another in political science, a master's in homeland security, and now works for a literacy nonprofit group.
I would say that I am eternally grateful. It completely changed my life. It changed, not only did it change my life, it changed my family tree.
That is the main purpose of the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. Chris Bowman, president of the rodeo, says it best.
Our mission is to promote agriculture. Our mission is to support education and Western heritage and support this community. So it all comes together. A lot of people obviously resonate with our scholarship piece and being able to give back. We heard from a number of students already. And so that really does exemplify what we do for the community, and it's great.
It takes all 35,000 volunteers and 109 committees together to help make that difference. The rodeo will give back $27 million to the youth of Texas, to the exhibitors, scholars, and grants.
Let's give one more round of applause to Reserve Grand Champion Tristan Himes.
Rodeo Houston says over the past roughly 9 decades, this event has raised $600 million in scholarships for students. And to share this great tradition, the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo created a remarkable history exhibit at the Heritage Society.
My personal connection to the rodeo, mine has been, I raised pigs when I was a kid and been out there all my life. And now I get to give back, and we have a lot of fun doing it. Western Art Committee focuses on memorabilia, nostalgia, the bronzes, keeping the Western heritage alive and in front of the community. This is our first run at trying to do a museum quality function. As we grow, City of Houston and the rodeo, we're trying to find ways because we're going out of scenes. One of the objects was to put a display together or an exhibit and showcasing the rodeo and everything that takes place during a rodeo performance. And this is kind of what we've come to with a culmination. The standout artifacts, we'll start with on the back wall on the right-hand side, that's the FFA jackets. Well, back in the day, women weren't allowed in it. So there's the rare, it's called Sweethearts of FFA. That was the female version of FFA back in the day. So to have some of those pieces that are 40, 50 years old and still in good condition, it's a tribute to the families that loaned those items to us. And all these bronzes, these are actually from some of our volunteers. They're original pieces. These right here are from Gary Plotkin. He's one of our lifetime directors, but also has quite the collection of bronzes. Some you'll never see, and they're unique in each piece. All right, this is why we do what we do. There's 35,000 volunteers strong. This is the scholarship breakdown and more of a display and exhibit of what we do and where we spend the monies. We're all over, we're tied to NASA. We do some things in the arts here in town, but the board will let you know we've given over $600 million since 1932 with a projected goal this year of $27 million for the kids at 24.
Well, partner, this is just a hint of the Wild West and Western culture that Rodeo Houston has to offer. But maybe you all just need to come out here and see it yourself.